Alright, hey, what's up guys? It's Neil, back with another PHP object-oriented programming tutorial. And today we're going to be going over yet another keyword in PHP object-oriented programming. And yeah, I guess there's no better way than to actually show you what we're going to be doing, which is static. Another keyword we're going to be looking at. And yeah, I'm going to create a new class and call it static class. And inside static class, we're going to make a function. But we're going to change up a little how we make our functions, and now we're going to add the keyword static. So we're going to make a public static function and call it show text. And as per usual, we're just going to have show text echo out hello world and a line break. So yeah, so far we've just made a public static function called showText, and yeah, I'm sure you have no idea what public static function does, so let's take a look at how to use it. Pretty much what our static keyword means is that we do not have to create a new instance of our class to access this function. And creating a new instance would be doing this. Static class equals new static class. Yeah, we don't have to do that. To access a static function or variable in our class, all we have to do is type in the class name, which is static class, followed by 2 colons, then show text or our function name. So if I save this and go into my browser and refresh, it echoes out hello world. Yeah, so that's how we use static functions in our classes. But yeah, how do we use like variables with our static functions? And it's a little different in that static functions can't access any normal variables inside our class. By a normal variable, I would mean something like this: public text equals hello. Now, the reason our static function can't access this is because we haven't created a new instance of our class. And yeah, there is no way that a static function can access this. It can, however, access a public static variable. And to do this, we don't use this text as you may have thought we would, like we have been in all the other tutorials. Because this is static, we have to use self and variable $text, which is a little weird at first, but you kind of get used to it after a while. So if you get it to echo self text as well, and go into our browser and refresh, it now echoes hello world, hello. And yeah, we can access public static text outside of our class as well by using static class $text, save, and refresh. Oh, sorry, I meant to echo that. We'll echo a line break, and we'll echo out static class text, and we should have hello hello. Yeah, there we go, hello hello. So yeah, that's how static works. And yeah, it's pretty useful for when you don't want to make a new instance of your class just to access a function or whatever, but the main downside is that you can't really access any variables in your class, but that aren't defined as static, as you can see here. But yeah, so that's our static keyword and what it does, etc. The only thing I would recommend trying to remember is that in the previous tutorials we went over how to access variables using say this. Hang on, we'll go into our class again. We always accessed our variables using this variable name. The only thing I would try to remember when you're using static is that if you're using like the self keyword, you have to use a $sign after it, like self $text. Whereas if we weren't using static, we would just use this text without the $sign here. That's just one thing I would try to remember. It's a little confusing at first, I'll admit, but yeah. So there you go. Another upside of using static is that our static functions and our static variables can be accessed anywhere in our PHP script. So if we have a new file and haven't created a new instance of our class yet, we can still access our static functions. So yeah, that's pretty much all we have to talk about for static, I think. It's a kind of confusing concept at first, but if you have any problems with it, just send me a message or comment, and I'll try to help you out as much as possible. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a little confusing until I actually get an example of a good use of static functions. But for now, it's just good to know what they do, and yeah, well, thanks for watching my video, and I'll see you next time.